I'm an expert at procrastination. I'm a real procrastinator. Welcome to Jenn's Writing World. If you have a story to tell, you are in the right place. Let's do it 10 minutes at a time. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. What's always fascinated me is that we often procrastinate on that which is important to us and that we really do want to get done. So we really want to write a book, but instead we do the laundry. Why don't we procrastinate on the laundry and write the book? It's all very confusing. I have 5 ideas to help you fight procrastination and get done that which is important to you. Let's see if any of these work for you. Number 1 is eat the frog. Probably everyone has heard the term eat the frog. It is from a quote attributed to Mark Twain, but since he didn't actually say it, I'm not actually going to quote it. But the idea is very simple. If you have a list of things to do and eat a frog is on that list, do it first thing in the morning. It's not going to get any easier to eat that frog, and everything else on your list will be easier to do once you have done the hardest thing on your list, which is eat the frog. Tip number 2 is to set a timer. We all know how much I love the timer. 10-minute write-in sessions would not happen without a timer. The beautiful thing about setting a timer is your brain might think, oh, I just don't have time to work on my story today. Maybe you want to get 500 words done, but maybe your brain is like, oh, that's going to take us like an hour and maybe more, and there's just not time in my day. Fine. Override that, oh, there just isn't time, by setting a timer. You can say, I don't have all day to do this, therefore I can't work on it. But you might have 15 minutes between making breakfast and heading off to work, and therefore sit down for 15 minutes, set the timer, so you know you will not be late for work, and write. Will you get 500 words done? Maybe not. Will you get words done? Absolutely. And if you do it every day, you will eventually finish your book. So, tip 2, use a timer. Interestingly enough, you can use some of these tips together. You can eat the frog and set a timer. So say, I only have 15 minutes to spend on my frog today. First thing in the morning, I'm going to eat that frog by setting the timer to make sure that I don't run over my time or let my brain think, oh, there just isn't time. There is always time, and a timer will help you manage it. Tip number 3, which goes along with tip number 1 and 2. These can all just be combined. And that is work on it for 5 minutes. No matter how busy you are, you have 5 minutes. Even if you're ready to go to bed at night and you think, oh, I have not had 5 minutes all day long to write on this book. Postpone bedtime by 5 minutes. Set the timer, tip number 2, and work on it. Now, did you eat your frog first thing in the morning? No. But did you eat your frog before the day ended, before you went to sleep? Yes, you did. And sometimes that's all we can hope for. But you know what? There may be other 5-minute gaps in your life. Talking about eat the frog, why not wake up and before you do anything else, except maybe use the bathroom, why not sit down, set the timer for 5 minutes, and eat the frog? You're going to get it done if this is what you do over and over and over again. But there is an advantage to setting the timer for 5 minutes. You can tell your brain, shut up brain, it's only 5 minutes. And once you start writing, you may discover that maybe you can go longer than 5 minutes. Once you've got the juices going and the plot's flowing and you remember where you are, you might be like, yeah, let's set that timer again. Let's do it for 10 minutes now. I have the time. And it's amazing how once you get started, you stay started. But you can't get started if you don't do the minimum. And the minimum can be just 5 minutes. Tip number 4 is to tell someone what it is you want to do. If you have been procrastinating on any number of things, losing weight, going for a walk, writing your book, whatever it might be that is important to you, one way to kill procrastination is to bring in a friend. This can be as easy as saying, I will text you tomorrow at 8 a.m. right before I sit down to write. Or I will text you and tell you how many words I have written. Please hound me if I do not text you. It's easy. And now you have an obligation. You're not doing it just for you. It's easy to procrastinate when it's just about you. We do it all the time. Oh, I really should not have that dessert. I'm trying to lose weight. But we think, what's one dessert? And so we have it. If you are in a group trying to lose weight, you might be like, oh, nope, I have to have a weigh-in tomorrow. Everyone's going to see it. I can't eat that cupcake. You would think that if we were the priority, it would be easy to do the right thing for us. That is just not always true. Our brain is a very tricky thing. So if you cannot get it done because you want to get it done, then bring in a friend, make yourself accountable to them, and then do it because they're going to ask, did you do it? On to number 5. If you don't have any friends that you feel can be your accountability partners, you could always go online and join a challenge. Or you can put an app on your phone that encourages you to start a habit and to stick with it. If you Google accountability challenges, habit building challenges, there's a ton of them out there. Some of them involve money, and that might be enough for you to say, no, I have to write because I don't want to donate to X, Y, Z. So the apps are really handy. Many of them have calendars in which you see the X every day that you do the item, and after a while you don't want to break that chain. You can do that without an app on your own calendar, but it's a lot of fun sometimes to watch the app. You can then, a lot of them, you can share your calendars and what you've been doing with other people. They can give you feedback. Again, we're back to accountability and sharing, and everybody on these apps has habits they're trying to create. They're all fighting procrastination. And so you can all feel like kindred spirits, and you can write about how hard it is and how you really didn't want to write today and you really didn't want to eat that frog, but you did it because you knew they were going to be cheering for you. So a challenge can be a great way to fight procrastination. All right, I said I was going to share 5 ways, but I have a bonus 6th way that is a great way to convince your head to go along with what you want to do. And it is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. This is not a thick book. And not only is it not a thick book, but inside it really is a bunch of very small chapters. Each chapter is like 1 page, 2 pages at the most. And what he talks about in this book is the idea of resistance, which is a lot like procrastination. And he says that resistance is this real entity that we all have to deal with, and it's never going to go away. However, we can not overcome it, but we can convince it to be on our side. We can face it and say, yes, I know you exist, but I'm not going to let you win. And this book is full of ideas on how to fight and reduce the resistance in our life. If you have not read this book, I highly recommend it. It is one of the best books on how to battle procrastination that I have ever read, ever. And the best part about it, and what I often do, is if you're having a day when you know you need to do something, but man, procrastination is winning, the resistance is taking over your life, you don't have to read the whole book. All you got to do is open any page. It'll start a chapter, read the chapter, and I promise you, after reading just 1 or 2 pages, you will have found a way to fight the resistance, a way to think about it that maybe before you were not thinking that way. And by readjusting the way we think about procrastination, the way we think about resistance, that can be just enough that we need to eat the frog. And that's what we all want. We want to eat the frog. We want to have written a book. And as Seth Godin says, the only way to have written a book, I'm paraphrasing here again, but he did say something like this, is to write. In order to have the past tense, you have to do the present tense, and that's the hard part, because procrastination would prefer you didn't write the book. Procrastination would prefer you went and did the laundry. Oh, it's piling up. It really needs to get done. We're all going to be naked if you don't do the laundry. Forget it. The laundry will be there after 15 minutes of writing or 5 minutes of writing after you have written your words and texted your friend and said, I did it. It was hard, but I did it. So that's my advice for today. We all suffer from procrastination, and I know that with these ideas, we can beat it, or at least we can face it and make it smaller than it is, because procrastination never really goes away. It is a part of it. In the battle of fighting procrastination, I hope you will join me Tuesday and Friday as we do 10-minute write-ins, and back for next Sunday when we'll talk about the craft of writing again. I appreciate you watching my channel. If you want to get more videos, you can hit the subscribe button down below. A like is always appreciated, and I would love it if you would share the channel with your writing friends who probably suffer from procrastination as well and might just get something out of this episode. Today's quote is from Jacob Krueger, a screenwriter and teacher of screenwriting, and this is what he said. Draft 1 is the me draft. Dismiss the audience. Only care about you and your character. Is this something that makes you believe in it? Am I allowing character to make choices? Do not let your conscious mind in. Let go of all fear. That's really good advice. And he would probably add that you need to not let procrastination stop you from writing that me draft. So long from Jenn's writing world. Until we meet again, write, write, write.